Hi guys, what's up? So in this video, we're gonna talk about the natural hair community. The natural hair community, a place where women can come together and feel good about their natural, God-given beauty and are encouraged to be themselves. A place where women with textured hair can converse and talk about their struggles, their successes, their choices that they made because of their hair, can come together and feel like they can be themselves and be appreciated, because a lot of the people that they're talking to have gone through the same things. A place where we can get our hair questions answered and supported and share our frustrations about what it is that's bothering us. Why? Because in the natural hair community, we want to be understood and we want to understand each other, because that's what the natural hair community is all about, right? Well, I've been somewhat a part of the natural hair community for about 3 years now, and I could say that I've experienced my share of experiences in the natural hair community, both good, bad, and everything in between. And with all these experiences, I've learned a lot. I've learned about being in a certain group, people's expectations when you somewhat join a group. I've learned a lot about my hair. I learned a lot about other people's hair. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the top 5 things that the natural hair community has taught me. Let's get started. Number 1, the natural hair community has done a great thing in helping us realize something that we all thought about but didn't talk about. Most of the time, people would just straighten their hair. Most black people, most black women, most people with textured hair would usually just straighten their hair. When we all wore our hair straight, it kind of brought us together or made us more like one another. And the natural hair community helped to, I don't want to say that the natural hair community helped to break us apart, but I would say that the natural hair community just showed our differences. That's when you started seeing the different hair textures. And also it helped with health of hair and stuff like that, because everybody wasn't straightening their hair, so wasn't like manipulating their hair as much, so a lot of people's hair grew a lot longer, a lot of people's hair didn't, but that's here nor there. But with the natural hair community, everybody got to see how differently everybody's hair could be and how everybody's hair is, or how everybody's hair was meant to be, or whatever you want to call it. And with that, you start realizing what things different hair categories needed, and it definitely helped expand and see what's behind straightening or just perming your hair. That was the first thing that the natural hair community taught me. Second thing that the natural hair community taught me was about protective styling. How it introduced me specifically to protective styling is because I tried a lot of different hairstyles. I tried big chopping, I hated it. I tried twist outs and stuff, but it wouldn't last as long as, some of the people that I would watch. I don't know, somehow it brought me to like the world of protective styling. A way of protecting your natural hair while wearing a different type of hair or something like that. For me, for instance, I never used to wear fake hair or anything like that. I used to just wear my natural hair all the time. So after I started learning about the natural hair community and started experimenting in the natural hair community and failing a lot of the times, that's when I got introduced to protective styling. So it wasn't like I had to manipulate my own hair and make my own natural hair straight. I learned about wearing other hair straight and finding other hair and wearing it straight and stuff like that, so I didn't have to really deal with my own hair. The third thing that the natural hair community taught me was about finding what I like to call your hair tribe. Which sounds like way more intense than it really is. It's just like I was saying before, how there were so many different hair groups or whatever, like the 2A, 2B. It's good to follow and find people who have the same type of hair type as you, or something similar to what you have, so you can know what could work for you and what may not work for you. My hair really liked protective styling more than it liked any other type of thing before, more than the twist outs and the braid outs and the bantu knots and stuff like that. I've looked at so many different hair gurus and 4C hair people and stuff like that, and whenever I would style my hair or whatever, it would only last for like a day or two, and then it would just not look the way that I like it. I would find that it just would be very time consuming and not very long lasting. I didn't see the real point of me doing that consistently. A lot of people in the natural hair community didn't agree with that and thought that if you protect your hair or do protective styling, as they call it, that you necessarily hate your hair type. And that's not really the case, you know what I mean? But that's where things started getting a little iffy. I want to talk about my natural hair. I want to do natural hair things. I want to, like, you know, experiment with my natural hair. I want to grow my natural hair, and I want my natural hair to be the best that it can be. The way that I wanted to do it was not very much accepted. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm doing this natural hair community thing wrong. So then I started to, you know, trying to do it the way other people were doing it, gave it a more of a chance, and then I realized that my hair was thinning and falling out and acting ridiculous. And I just started going back to what worked for me, and then all of a sudden my hair started working. I'll admit my hair is very, very coarse. My hair gets super, super dry very easily. It needs to be moisturized. It needs to be left alone if you want it to grow. If you have my type of hair, a very forcey, very dry, very coarse, I would say low porosity type hair, because a lot of people say that that's important, then I would say that it would be best if you left your hair alone for it to grow than to be wearing it out all the time, you know, trying to be like other people, you know. If you look at my videos, you can see that my hair has been progressing now that I've been doing what works for me. And I just wanted to, you know, make that clear, so if other people who are like me have my type of hair and want their hair to grow, that you could, you know, try a different way and not feel bad about it and feel like, oh my goodness, you're not being natural, you're not being true to yourself. You're completely being natural, you're completely being true to yourself, and you're making yourself happy in the process and not caring about what other people have to say. So yes, it's good to do, you know, like, do what works for you, and what works for me is protective styling, and that's kind of what I show on my channel. Fourth thing that the natural hair community taught me how to do is make what works for me valuable. By always telling people what works for you and showing people what works for you and letting people know that this is a way you can be natural and, you know, love your hair and stuff like that, and make your hair grow. And this is a valuable way of caring for your hair. That's the fourth thing that the natural hair community has taught me, is to make my hair routine, the way I deal with my hair, valuable to others by doing it over and over and over again, and showing people that yes, this is a way that can help you grow your hair if you want to do that, and you shouldn't feel bad about the way that you do your hair because it works. It would be different if I did my hair and I wore protective hairstyles and my hair did not grow, then okay, it would make more sense. But reasons why I didn't like those other ways of doing the twist outs and the braid outs and all those type of hair, and like really trying to style my natural hair on a consistent basis, is because it was just way too time consuming. I felt like I was becoming my hair, trying to like keep up with what everybody else was doing. I'm happy I stopped doing that. The fifth thing the natural hair community has taught me is that whenever you're being yourself, it always comes with like a roller coaster of emotions. Some people will understand you and some people will not. Sometimes you feel on a high when you have people who really appreciate what you're doing and love what you're doing, support you. When you're truly being yourself, there's always going to be somebody who completely hates the fact that you're being yourself and you're not being the way that they want you to be. So they'll make sure they let you know how they feel about you and want to bring you down or want to make you feel a certain way about yourself or being who you are. With that comes an emotional roller coaster when it comes to putting yourself out there for the world to see, and then having people judge you for how you are, how you represent yourself. The natural hair community has taught me to master that roller coaster. And the fifth thing that the natural hair community has taught me is to completely be honest with myself. Be honest with yourself. You're trying to do something that people can relate to, can understand, and it's so easy to want to do what other people are doing to make yourself relatable. But what I realized is that completely being yourself and being who you are and sharing who you are, like, is what makes you special, not how well you can copy somebody else. So yes, being honest with yourself and being very truthful and transparent with what works for you and what doesn't work for you is what makes you special, what makes you unique, and what makes people want to be a part of your life or experience your journey with you. So that is definitely the fifth thing that the natural hair has taught me, is to just be honest with yourself. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. In the comment section below, I want to know if you like videos like this where I tell you guys what I've learned, my experiences and stuff like that. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about any of the things that I was talking about that the natural hair community has taught me. Do you agree with the things that I'm saying? Do you not agree? What do you think? I love to know in the comment section below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.